Hello, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and share the link to others so that they may benefit as well. So in the previous video, I was actually talking about the reaction between iron and chloride and chlorine. So you need to know that iron 2 is one of the transition metals. So when they say iron 2, meaning that it has a valence of 2. When they say iron 3, it has a valence of 3. So but they actually said that iron has a valence of 2. And chlorine is in the group 7 elements, in the group 7 elements, and they have the valence of 1, if you remember what I taught you in the previous videos. Okay, so it has a valence of 1. So when these two swap like that, okay, so this one will come this way, these two will come where? Will come here. It will come where? It will come here. So meaning that it will be what? Iron 1. Okay, it will be iron 1 like that, iron 1, then chlorine what? Chlorine 2. So but this is not making sense. So you can actually remove 1. Okay, you can actually remove 1. So this is where I got it from. This is where I got it from. So they are saying that the one that is produced is what? The products there is iron 2 chloride. So this is what iron 2 chloride is. And this is what is hydrogen gas. This is hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas, it is a diatomic molecule. It doesn't exist on its own. So it exists as 2 elements like that. So now you need to know how to balance this equation. You need to know how to balance this equation. Okay, so you need to know how to balance this equation. Okay, so how do we balance it? So we balance it, we check individually. So here there is iron, there is one iron, the one atom of iron. Even this side there is one atom of iron. How about this side? There is what? One hydrogen. How about this side? There is what? 2 hydrogen. So what do? We add 2 here. We put 2 here. Okay, like we did in the previous equation. So this is, since hydrogen is 2 and we add 1, so we add 2. So meaning that 2 multiplied by this, it will be what? 2. So don't forget that this 2 has also multiplied with what? This. So mean that there is 2 hydrogen and 2 what? Chlorine. So let's check for chlorine. Since iron is balanced, it's 1 1 1, then hydrogen is 2 and 2. So about chlorine? So chlorine is what? Is 2. Even here it's what? It's 2. So these 2, it is only for what? For chlorine. So mean that the equation is what? Is balanced. The equation is balanced. You know that hydrogen is a gas. So the equation is balanced. The equation is what? The equation is balanced. Okay, the equation is balanced. So now I want to give you, okay, let's do more, one more question, then I give you an exercise. Let's do one more question, then I give you an exercise. So let's say, for instance, you have been told to write the balanced chemical equation for this equation. Okay, for what? For this equation. So they are saying that calcium, okay, so they are saying that calcium like that. So we have a question here. When calcium oxide, okay, so calcium oxide, when calcium oxide like that. So this is the equation. So we have calcium oxide. So mean that calcium has reacted with what? With oxygen to form calcium oxide. Calcium oxide plus hydrochloric acid is equal to calcium chloride plus water. So you need to know their symbols. You need to know their symbols. Okay, so calcium oxide, calcium oxide. So what you'll be doing now, you're not supposed to be writing those you're not supposed to be writing their um, their valence numbers. Okay, so you need to be thinking their valence numbers. So you need to be thinking their valence numbers. So you'll be thinking that calcium has a valence of what? Of 2, since it is in group 2, has a valence of 2, and oxygen has and oxide, which is oxygen, has a valence of 2. So when they swap their valences, so 2 and 2, when they swap it, there's just 2. So now when 2 and 2 divide, there will be just 1. So mean that it will be what? Just 1 calcium oxide, like that. So when this one has a valence of 2 and this one has a valence of 2, so when they swap their valence, they will divide. So you'll be just thinking, don't write their valence number. So you'll be just thinking, don't write their valence number. So if you didn't understand on the valence numbers, kindly go back on the previous video that we actually did together, so that you can move with us. Or if probably you missed that video, kindly go back. So I said that hydrochloric acid, you write it like this: hydrochloric acid, like this. Okay, so hydrochloric acid, so this is solid, this is in aqueous state. Okay, so this is what? In aqueous state, like that. So they are saying that what is produced, so they are saying that calcium chloride is produced, meaning that calcium and chlorine, they are produced. So calcium here, calcium has a valence of 2. Chlorine has a valence of what? Of 1. Chlorine has a valence of 1. So when these two swap their valences, so calcium will give chlorine 1, then chlorine will give what? Will give calcium. So calcium will give chlorine 1. So chlorine will give what? Calcium. So calcium will get 1 here, but don't put 1. Okay? So you can't put 1. So calcium will get 1, then chlorine will get what? Will get 2. Like that. Okay, like what? Like that. So this is in what? In aqueous state. Plus, so what will be produced as well is what? Is water. So you need to know how to write water, and water is what? Is H2O, like that. So water is what? Is H2O. So you need to balance the equation. You need to balance the equation. So you start by counting how many calcium atoms are this on the left side. How many calcium atoms are on the left side? So we have 1 here. We also have what? 1 here. So mean that calcium is what? Is balanced, like that. Calcium is balanced. How about oxygen? Oxygen, we have 1 here. Okay, so oxygen, we have 1 here. How about this side? Oxygen, we have 1, like that. Oxygen is balanced as well. Let's go to hydrogen. So hydrogen, we have 2. Okay, hydrogen, we have 2 here. So for hydrogen, we have what? We have 2. How about this side? For hydrogen, we have, oh, this side we have 1, this side we have what? We have 2. So how do we balance it? So this side we have 2, this side we have 1. We said that you add the what? The 2 here as a coefficient, mean that this is multiplied by this one, mean that there are 2 hydrogen and 2 chlorines. So if you check chlorine here, we have 2. Even here, chlorine, we have 2, like that. Okay, so chlorine we have 2, and chlorine we have 2, and chlorine this side we have 2. Okay, so mean that the equation is now balanced. So we have one calcium, 1 calcium, 1 oxygen, 1 oxygen, 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine, 2 chlorine, like that. So mean that the equation is what? Is balanced, like that. Okay, the equation is balanced. So I want to give you at least 3 questions on balancing the equation so that you can solve these 2 or these 3. So we'll say the exercise for you. The exercise, I want to see, suppose you've understood or not. If you haven't understood, kindly ask. You can inbox me on that same line so that we talk. So we have number 1. Okay, so number one we have Mercury, like that. Mercury, like that. Mercury. So Mercury is on the periodic table. You find it on the periodic table. So the same mercury oxide is in solid state. Okay, mercury oxide is equal to mercury. I'm sorry. So we're saying that number 1. So we're saying that mercury, okay, mercury plus oxygen. Okay, so plus oxygen. Okay, so mercury plus what? Plus oxygen. So mercury is always in liquid state. Oxygen, you know that it is in gaseous state. So when these two react, okay, when these two react, they will produce mercury oxide. Okay, so they'll produce mercury oxide. So you need to balance this equation. So number 2, you balance sodium. Okay, sodium is in solid state. So this is actually solid. So sodium plus water. Okay, sodium plus water is equal to sodium hydroxide. So you know what hydroxide is. I taught you. Sodium hydroxide is in aqueous state. Sodium hydroxide, then plus what? Plus hydrogen gas. Okay, so plus hydrogen gas, like that. So number, how many questions should I give you? Okay. So I would say number 3. Okay, number 3, sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid plus hydrochloric acid. Okay, sodium oxide plus hydrochloric acid, sodium chloride plus hydrochloric acid will produce sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid will produce. So the equal sign, I'll write it here. Produce what? Will produce sodium chloride. Okay, sodium chloride and, or should I say plus, sodium chloride plus what? Plus water. plus water plus water. So make sure that you balance these equations. Make sure that you balance. So make sure that you balance these equations. Make sure that you balance these equations. So remember to subscribe if you are new to this YouTube channel, and also share the channel to your friends. Okay. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching and enjoy the video. Kindly subscribe if you are new to this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.